continue with our study of Mareh Yaakov, and it's with every week's shiur. We're going to start with something from the parsha from the week we just read. We read Parshat Bo, and in Parshat Bo we have Beit Aleph, we have 2 and 1, we have the last 3 plagues. Mnemonic, if you want to remember how many plagues were last week. First 2 letters of the parsha, Vav Aleph, 6 and 1, 7. There were 7 last week, and this week Beit Aleph 3 this week. As Moshe presents the plagues to Pharaoh, Pharaoh finally gets frustrated with the process, and we have the sentence, Vayomer lo Pharaoh lech me'alai, and Pharaoh says, leave from me. Hishamer lecha, you should guard yourself. El tosef ra'ot panai, you will not further see my face. Ki biyom ra'otcha fanai tamut, because on the day when you see my face, you're going to die. And Moshe says, Vayomer Moshe ken dibart, and Moshe says, you have spoken truly. Lo osif od ra'ot panecha, I will not see your face anymore. So we're going to focus on the word panai, because we've got that word 3 times in these 2 sentences. And we're going to notice that it is appearing both in its strong form, panai with a dot in the pei, and fanai without the dot in the pei. And one of the things that we've sort of posited and we've learned is that when we see the dot in the letter, this is going to be something talking about that appearing in its full strength. And when we see it without the dot in it, this is going to be something about that word appearing in a lesser sense, or in a sense of weakness. And there are a number of ways that the rabbis look at this and say, well, wait a minute, the plague of the firstborn comes, and Paro calls Moshe and Aaron and says, leave. So they see his face again. So how does that work? And we've got a number of answers. Some say that he sent agents or servants, or he just had a crier go out through the land where the Jews were, calling to Moshe and Aaron, saying I'm going to leave. So there wasn't actually a personal meeting at that point. So that's one of the views. Another one of the views that the Midrash brings is that Paro, in fact, wore a mask when he was at an official function. So when he was Paro on the throne, we know very much when we look at the stuff in the museum that there were certainly masks that people of royalty would wear, and that seemed to be something that was ceremonial. And whenever Moshe was talking, whenever Paro was talking in a ceremonial sense, he would have this mask on him. And this perhaps also explains how Joseph's brothers didn't completely recognize him, because, again, he may have been wearing a royal mask, so that they didn't recognize his voice or his characteristics because his face was partially hidden. So what's happening here? Paro says, you're not going to see panai, you're not going to see my face, my royal mask. And then Paro says, Ki biyom ra'otcha fanai, when you see my face in its weakened sense, tamut. So what's his face in his weakened sense? His face in his weakened sense is at something where he would not be wearing his royal mask. When would Pharaoh not be wearing his royal mask? Well, one of those occasions would be at a time of mourning. Why? So why would Pharaoh be in mourning? Pharaoh's being mourned. His first son is going to die. When Pharaoh's in mourning, he doesn't wear the ceremonial mask. When Pharaoh is begging Moshe and Aaron to do his bidding, when Pharaoh is in the sign of his weakness, he would not be wearing his royal mask. And what does Moshe answer? Lo osif od ra'ot panecha, with the dot. I'm not going to see you in your royal mask anymore. I'm only going to see you when you're in the weakened sense, where you're in fanai, when you are in fact in mourning. So the dot in the pei tells us how Moshe is able to tell the truth that he's not going to see Paro anymore, even though he does in fact see him again. So he sees him, but he sees him in mourning without the royal mask on. Fanai, not panai.